Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today I'm over at Marcus's place and working on his 2014 Chevy Cruze Eco, and there's a few issues going on. His car's been overheating. It turned out to be the thermostat. The sensor inside of it just went out, so the car is overheating. So we had to get a new thermostat. I will pop up all the codes that he's been having up on the screen right here. So it is raining today. We are going to fix it. First thing I'm going to tackle before it gets dark out is taking off the thermostat housing. It's pretty easy. If you've seen my other video on replacing the gasket itself, check it out up in your top right hand corner. That way you can see the process, but I will show you lightly of what we're gonna do today. And yeah, so let's jump right into this. All right, so we're gonna jump into the hardest thing first, and we're gonna get to the thermostat housing right down there. So we need to take off this intake accordion hose that goes down here. It's gonna be I believe it's 7mm or a flathead that you can use. Just take this whole thing off, and then we will have more access to the thermostat housing down there. So let me take this off, and then I'll show you a little bit more. All right guys, so I decided to take off this intake hose, and I just turned this one to the right. I didn't want to mess with taking it off. It's being stubborn right now. So there's going to be 3 E-TORX bolts down here, and they're going to be E-TORX 10. It's going to be the inverted sockets. I'll have a link to like this kit down below. That way you guys can pick it up. And so there's going to be one here, one right in there where my finger is, and then one on the bottom. You can't see it, but you can feel it. And then we're gonna take the sensor off right here, and we can go ahead and pop the thermostat housing off. But before that, there's this little clip here that will release this hose. We're going to pry it up and pop it off. That way we can take the radiator hose off. And then there's a little clamp that we're gonna try to reach down there on that hose. It might be easier once we take the thermostat off, just to take it off. So that's gonna be the hardest part, I think, to get to. Let's go ahead and dig into it. All right, so this clip, you can literally just grab some needle nose pliers, lift up underneath it, and then that will literally just pop up and out. And then we should be able to take off that hose pretty easily. That will actually give us more access as well. Just don't misplace your parts. You're gonna have a bad day if you do. And let's see how much of a mess this thing is going to make. Okay, it might be easier to just take it off when the thermostat housing's off. Might have more access. Yeah, I'll mess with that when we get down there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take off these thermostat bolts. There's gonna be one right down in here, so you can have an extender like this, and then it will literally just fit right in here. You gotta finagle it a little bit. That one's loose. There's gonna be one right on the bottom that you can't really see, but you can totally feel it. It's gonna be right by that hose right down here. It's gonna be on the underside. If we take the extension off, we should be able to reach it better. This one is probably the worst to get to. All right, there we go. Jeez, that is literally the worst. I recommend getting that one first before any other ones. Then once it's loose, we can get it off by hand. So I'll jump back in whenever we get it completely off. All right guys, I've been fighting this for like 10 minutes, but I finally got this hose off that I was telling you about. It's right, wow, this is the worst camera angle. See that hose right there? There's a clamp on there that they have the tabs that are completely horizontal, and it's literally the worst to try to get any kind of needle nose pliers on it. They make like a special tool for it, and I don't have it, but I wedged my hand down there and I just clamped it and I pulled on the thermostat and it just popped off. So that's probably gonna be like the best one to throw back on. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. And so yeah, the actual radiator hose right here, this will just pull off. I'll need 2 hands for it, but once you get that clip off, like I showed you earlier, it just separates. And then we can swap out the thermostat itself. And then yeah, its assembly is the same as removal. And then we're gonna torque down these bolts to 71 inch-pounds. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'll be back. All right, before I move further, since it's like pretty hard to film, if you push this clamp a little bit forward down the hose, you'll be able to slide the thermostat on, and then you can wedge part of your needle nose in there on the whole side of the clamp, and then you can grab the other one and then just pull the clamp forward. Just get that on first, and then throw the thermostat on there, tighten it down to 71 inch-pounds, and then you can put the radiator hose on, followed by the clip. So that's the easiest route to do it. I just did it and it took like 2 minutes. Not too bad. Let me put it back together and then we should be done with this. All right, guys, it's day 2 of working on Marcus's Chevy Cruze. I kind of left you guys an abrupt stop last time. It got super late, it got really cold. We ended up fixing the thermostat housing, got the new gasket on there, got everything all put together, and then found out when we were adding coolant to the car that his water outlet pipe broke. It's made of plastic, and I guess when his car started to overheat, just like cracked. So we had to order a new one, and it took a few days to get in. So we're gonna be replacing that today. It should be pretty straightforward. I'll show you where it's at, what to do, and hopefully this will clear up all of his cooling issues. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So over on the Cruze, this is the piece that broke right down here on the water outlet housing. See that? That sucks. So I'm gonna have to pop this hose off. Here's a new part. This is a GM genuine part. You can actually pick this up at Advance Auto. So what you're gonna need one of these inverted Torx 10s. You're gonna need some pliers to just take these clamps off. And then there's gonna be, if you look at the part, there's gonna be 3 of these bolts, one here, and one on the bottom side. We're gonna have to take off this piece of the intake hose right here and take off this sensor. This will give us more access. We're gonna take off the MAF sensor, and then I think this is the O2 sensor right here. So we'll be able to unclip that when we take this whole thing off, and then we'll have better access down there. And then yeah, that should be it. There should be like another sensor on here that you just unplug, which is gonna be right there. So let's do it. Let's see if it will take like 15 minutes. Now just this sensor right down here, which, yeah, the sensor just pops right off. We're gonna have to take off that hose right back there. on. There we go. I just want to loosen them. Oh, it's already loose. Nice. Wow. They're all pretty loose. Is that bad? It's not great. Okay, well, now I know that they're not a problem. I'll take this thing out. This one pops right off. All right. 1, 2, and last one right up front. Yes, low coolant. It's okay. There we go. Piece of shit. All right, let's put the new one on. All right, guys, so assembly is the same as reverse. The only thing is make sure you torque those 3 bolts to 71 inch-pounds and then do a quarter turn afterwards. Nothing crazy. This is plastic, so don't break it. All right, and then quarter turn. Done. All right, guys, got it all back on. Everything's together. We're gonna start filling this up with some coolant. Now, a little more coolant spilled out than I anticipated, so hopefully this is enough. All right, guys, 0 leaks. The car fully warmed up. The radiator fan kicked on. It sucked down some of the coolant, and yeah, the car's at a perfect operating temperature. So I would call that a full-on success. All right, guys, so that's how you replace your thermostat housing and your water outlet housing on a Chevy Cruze Eco. So yeah, if you guys liked this video and you found it helpful, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to see more videos like these. I'll catch you on the next ride.